Today I'm working on a new surface. Well, it's been around for a while. I'm going to be doing watercolor on watercolor canvas. This is acid-free watercolor canvas, and you can purchase it in this pad of 10 sheets. You can also buy watercolor canvas that is on a stretcher, but that tends to be expensive. So for this experiment, I'm using just the pad of watercolor canvas. I've taken a sheet of the watercolor canvas and I taped it to a piece of foam core using plain old masking tape. And after I taped it, I moistened it with water, with a spray bottle, and I wiped it down with a paper towel. And then I did a very basic landscape sketch onto the canvas itself. I find that you can erase with a kneaded eraser very easily on this watercolor canvas. I'm going to be using flats on this rather than my usual round watercolor brushes. I find the flats hold more paint, and I think I want to work with a heavier application of paint on this and just utilize more water. I'm going to use a 1 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1/4 inch flat. I went ahead and did some laying in of color. I used ultramarine blue and phthalo blue. I did a mixture. I did not moisten the paper first. I ended up just putting down the color. One thing I'm noticing, which I'm not happy with, are these little dots, and I don't know if that's left over from the paper towel that I used to clean it, or if it's part of the finish of the canvas coming up. And the reason I am using this, and you can see I'm just lifting a little bit here and there, is because I wanted to get texture that I can't necessarily get on my watercolor paper. And I also wanted to be able to spray this with a fixative, not a varnish necessarily, but a fixative, and then I could frame it without glass. It's just another surface to paint on, but requires less framing, but it does require that fixative. So you wouldn't necessarily need to use glass, but you would have to use a fixative to seal the watercolor paint. I also like the texture that comes up on this. I am finding that despite the fact that it is taped down, the canvas is buckling a little bit, so we're going to have to deal with that. And my canvas is not terribly moist, so let's see the results. I found that if I used a little bit more water with this canvas when I laid my colors in, that I did not get that beading, those little specks. And also I did notice, let me slowly zoom in, that the little specks kind of melted into the cloth of the canvas. Remember, this is cloth in a sense as opposed to paper. And I like painting on this, and you might too, because I paint very loose, very impressionistic, and I don't worry so much about form and value. And this allows me to manipulate it more on the canvas, and we'll get into lifting just a little bit later. But I'm just spreading some of this color out. I used, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, and alizarin crimson, and sap green for the colors in this fall foliage. Also some burnt sienna, and I like using magenta, and I just remembered what my color harmonies are in my color wheel and just started loading that paint in. And this is the first pass on this. So we're going to continue with building the landscape on the other side. I added paint onto the other side, and you can see how it's dripping down here. And I again am just putting colors in, and there's a lot of reflection right now because the paint on this side is wet. I'm just putting colors in, random colors, onto my canvas to create the impression of foliage. I like this effect that I'm getting. It's rather abstract, but I'm also finding that I cannot be manipulating too much. I have to be strong and confident on where I'm putting my colors down. I'm again using a mixture of lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, sap green, alizarin crimson, and some burnt sienna thrown in there. I threw a little magenta in here, and I'm going to use this as the first washes, and you can possibly see that little beading, but those seem to disappear as it dries. In some ways I like painting on paper better because it's more brilliant white, even though this canvas is pretty white. But I do like the effect of the canvas. It gives it texture, and that was my big complaint when I started in watercolor, that I like more texture in my paintings. So right now what we have is that clump of trees back there in the background that we have to worry about. And we'll go on with that in the next step. I wanted the mountains in the rear, the hills with that foliage, to look a little bit more diffused. So I just put in some purples and some cadmium orange in there very lightly. It may look very dark, but on my easel it looks very light right now. And I lifted some. And this is what I do like about this medium on canvas, on watercolor canvas. You can just see me lifting right now because I wanted to put a road in there and some shadows. So I just lifted all that color with a wet tissue. And I am finding too, I was worried about those dots, and they seem to blend in nicely with the landscape. And these are kind of almost dots of canvas that have mixed in with the paint. I don't think that's a problem. And remember, I'm going to be spraying this with a fixative, so it's not like it's going to come off. But the most exciting thing for me as a watercolorist is to be able to lift so easily, as opposed to working with paper, and lifting is such a hassle. And all I did was take a wet tissue and lift the color from around this area. I had a spot of paint right there I didn't like in the sky, so I just gently lifted it and blended it in with the rest of the sky. It was really easy on this canvas. And then I started building and fleshing out, or leafing out, is that a word? Putting in more color for the trees so they would pop more. I left this, back here, kind of diffused. I added a little orange and purple here and there. I built a little bit on this clump of greenery here. I put shadows under the trees and greenery as much as I could. I fleshed out some leaves on the side of this clump of greenery so it didn't look too uniform. Early on I had a problem where my trees all looked very uniform, and one of my mentors mentioned, you need to kind of flush them out so they look more realistic, not just a shape. It's still an issue, and I still have to force myself to do it, to think about it. And you can see I put some shadow here. Yes, I did sign it. I think I like working with this because as I continue working on it, I tend to go more dry brush, more like an oil painting where I'm scrubbing and putting in some dry brush effects here and there, lifting with my brush, lifting with tissues and paper towels. And I think that's why I'm drawn to painting with watercolor on canvas. The other advantage is I'm not dealing with the odors and the mess that I get when I deal with oil and sometimes acrylic on canvas. I do love the process, but it tends to be messier. And this is a lot easier to do with watercolor. It lifts, it cleans, and you'll be able to finish it off with varnish, perhaps, or a fixative spray, which I'm going to do next, so that you can frame it without any glass. So let's let this dry. By the way, one more thing I wanted to mention. I took the masking tape off because, quite frankly, the water leaked underneath and it caused the canvas paper to buckle more. Now, I've been working fairly dry, so I don't know if that would have made that big of a difference. But on the next batch, I think I'm just going to use artist tape instead of the masking tape because it gets very wet and buckles. So the next step and the final step in this is to spray paint it. Sorry, not spray paint it. Finish it off with a fixative and see if the colors pop anymore. Here's the varnished painting that I did on watercolor canvas with watercolor. I used a fixative first, and I probably could have just done it with a fixative, but then I put a coat of gloss varnish on top of it. And as opposed to when I do varnishing on canvas with oil or acrylic, the colors did not necessarily pop. And the reason is watercolor canvas is created so that the watercolor does indeed sink in more versus using an oil or acrylic. The point of using watercolor canvas and watercolor and then a fixative or varnish is that you can put this in a frame and you don't necessarily need a glass or any of the mat that we typically have to use with watercolor framing, but I like to put a mat around it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and remember above all to keep practicing.